Performance Training PST Day 9. Looking for challenges. What does that mean? Looking for challenges is another way to increase your ability to deal with adversity, overcome adversity, master situations where in the past this may have been a scenario for you. Things could become a little bit overwhelming for you. Things can make you a little bit afraid. You get maybe a little extra nervous. And this is a strategy that will help you deal with pressure, if you will. A lot of people say pressure can cause you to perform at a high level, and it can make you perform at a low level. And if you go back to that meetings audio notes or discussion, what things mean to you will ultimately determine how you deal with said pressure or anxiety or excitement or any kind of emotion or feeling that you can come up with. So this looking for challenges strategy is a way for you to deal with nearly everything. If you change the meaning of what you're dealing with, let's say something in the past you termed it or you deemed it as pressure. Keep in mind, pressure creates diamonds, so that sometimes can be a good analogy or metaphor for you to think about if things can or do become a little bit overwhelming for you. So when you're looking for challenges, this could be an example, and we'll give you some strategies and give you a lot of different examples. First one we'll start off with is let's say something that happened in the past in a wrestling scenario, in a wrestling match, and then we'll give you other examples, because this dealing with challenges or looking for challenges it's in all parts of your life, and depending on how or what things mean to you, you can look for challenges just about everywhere. Anyhow, getting back to a wrestling example, in the past when you were winning 3-1, you sort of shut down, you sort of did not wrestle to the best of your ability. On the other hand, if the score was 1-3, sometimes that could create a little sense of panic and doubt, and how are you going to get it done as well. And I'm sort of going to change that scenario when in both scenarios, 3-1 or 1-3, doesn't matter what the score is. If you're winning 3-1, you're looking for a challenge. Now your attitude is, I can't wait for this person to try to attack me. I'm going to immediately go into my counter offensive attacks, and I'm going to score points. In fact, I'm going to try to build my score. I'm going to try to build the lead. If you're losing 1-3, and there's a strategy and tactics kind of audio notes as well, where the strategy and the tactics will change depending on the score and depending on the time of the match. But in this scenario, again, you're looking for challenges in every part of your wrestling match. The score's 1-3 with a little bit of time left. You're so excited you can't wait, because now you get an opportunity to work on all those things that you've been working on in practice. And boy, this is a great opportunity for you to show everybody the things that you've been working on. You're excited to be able to come back, and every time you do a movement and you score points, you feel good about yourself, and it increases your motivation and your ability to continue to thrive. So that's a scenario where in your mind, again, you change the meanings of whatever the score is, doesn't matter. You're going to essentially make a game out of it. And again, we've talked about how sports in general are games, and wrestling is a sport, so wrestling theoretically is a game as well. Another way to look for challenges is anytime, this is the same thing but said a different way, anytime something in the past that created some type of adversity for you, right? Anytime in the past something created a little bit of doubt or a little bit of panic for you, now, because you've changed the meaning again, you can't wait for that opportunity. And because you can't wait for that opportunity, every time you go into a training session and or practice, you're looking for that opportunity to come up again and again and again and again. Why? So you can actually work on it, so you can actually get better at it. And later on, I've said this before, where we're going to talk at some point, we're going to talk about journaling and tracking and monitoring, but for now we'll just jump right to that, because in your notes, in your journal, in your training log, you've written down all of the successful attempts and all of the times that you've actually looked for challenges. And now maybe you've been doing this for 2 or 3 months, maybe you've gotten to 115 opportunities that you've had, and you've had a success rate of something like 75%. In 3 or 4 months' time, that's great, because in the past, every time you had an opportunity that would come up, it wasn't a challenge, because the meaning was a little bit different for you. It created the panic, it created doubt, it created fear. It made you kind of turn into a snail. You moved at snail's pace. It made your muscles get really tight. But now every time an opportunity that used to in the past create some adversity, panic, doubt, fear, now you look for those opportunities, and now you write them down in your training log, in your training journal, and you keep a ledger and you keep track of it. So because you've changed the meaning, and because every time something comes up, you're looking for it in practice. Now in practice, the score is whatever the score is, 3-1, 2-1, 6-1, doesn't matter. You're looking for opportunities to increase the score. You can't wait for that person to take a shot on you so you can work on stuff in the head, square in the head. So that's an example of counter offense for techniques for when people shoot on you. When you feel just a little bit of fatigue, man, that makes you feel great, because now if I continue at this pace, imagine what that other person feels like. If I'm tired, imagine what they're feeling like. And when you get tired, you get even more energy. So we're creating scenarios where you're actually using a little bit of psychological skills training with self-talk and feeling. I'm trying to figure out what the feeling sense is. I think a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists call that term kinesthetic sense, where when someone touches you, the feel of touch is the kinesthetic sense, but you can actually create that in your mind. In the past, your muscles would get really rigid and you'd get tight and you'd get like a cold sweat. But now, anytime a challenge comes up, man, you feel loose, because you can't wait for that to happen again. It's almost like it's your birthday. You get a little bit of nervous excitement, but man, boy, oh boy, it's an exciting time when it's your birthday. So I've given you just another scenario again, where now we're suggesting that these things are going to come up in practice just about every single day. And why? Because you're actually looking for them to come up. One, you're kind of writing things down in your journal, in your training log. And two, every opportunity that in the past maybe created a little bit of doubt, fear, anxiety, adversity, now it's something that you're actually looking forward to. So I'm just going to give it a little brief review. Some of the things we've actually talked about, they carry over into other segments and or into other audio notes. Another scenario that I'm saying that because I'm going to come up with another example. Another scenario that happens frequently with some people, and even to me, is someone says something to you and you don't like what that person says, right? And so now you get a little bit disturbed, you get a little frustrated, you're distracted by what that person said. Now it's hard for you to focus. Or you get a bad call in a match and the referee says this and he says that, and you're still stuck on that thing that happened in the past, which was a second ago or 2 minutes ago or last week or last month or whatever. It's distracting you from your goal. But now you can't wait to get a bad call. Now you can't wait for someone to challenge your intellect or say something that kind of gets under your skin. One, because you get a chance to work on managing your energy levels, where you get to control your emotions, you get to work on your emotional discipline, and anytime something that doesn't go your way, you understand that actually builds your character. You understand that actually makes you stronger mentally. You understand that you get more mentally tough when things don't go your way, and for you to overcome them, it's an exciting time. It makes you feel good. So you're changing the meaning, and you're actually looking for these opportunities that come up. They're there all the time, right? Let's change it to an academic example. When you were in high school, or maybe you're in college, or maybe you're just reading a book right now, and generally speaking, when you're in high school and college and you're studying, the goal is to do the very best that you can, and in those scenarios they usually give you grades. In the past, when you got a certain grade, it kind of made you feel a certain way. But now when you get a certain grade, whatever the grade is, it's exciting for you. And you can't wait to get another opportunity to do an even better job. Now when you get your test scores back, or your quiz scores back, or your homework back, you take a look at that and you evaluate, you know what, I can do even better, whatever the score was. Because again, you're looking for challenges. You've changed the meaning. Your meanings have changed. Now, anytime anything comes up, The whole idea for you now is to create a challenge for yourself. Ultimately, you're trying to create a game so that you increase your motivation, you can increase your confidence level, and now when these challenging sort of scenarios come up, they do nothing but build. They do nothing but make you grow. They do nothing but make you develop. And if that continues to happen, because again, you're going to be writing it down in your training log, you're going to be writing it down in your training journal, it's another great opportunity for you to work on your psychological skills training every single day in practice, every single day when you're training, every single day when someone's talking to you, every single day anything comes up. Challenges make you grow, and that can become a mantra, that can become a motto, that can become something that you're saying to yourself on an ongoing basis. Now, in the beginning, just like everything, just like tying your shoe, just like riding a bike, just like speaking a different language, if you've never spoken a different language before, it is challenging in the sense that it takes a little bit of time for you to get used to it. Just like when babies learn to walk, crawl, and then run, sprint, and then wrestle. Remember that took a little bit of time. So I'm suggesting that all these psychological skills are going to take some time. The key is for you to be persistent. The key is for you to continue to try to do it and then evaluate it either with a coach or by writing it in your training log and your training journal, and then see how much better you're getting. And maybe you're using SMART goals and you're giving yourself an opportunity to, understanding what a SMART goal is and putting your challenges in that sort of element. So you give a timeline of when you'd like to have these many challenges accomplished at this time. In other words, you're giving yourself an opportunity to work on things that are going to help you develop and grow. Looking for challenges, another way for you to increase your ability to overcome adversity, and another way for you to essentially make a game out of things that in the past maybe create a little bit of doubt, a little bit of fear, a little bit of adversity for you.